Sure, it's Lance Watkins. The organization is Built for Agility, and that's BUILT, the number 4, agility.org. And the founder, Dr. Marie Alcazar, had given me a call back in 2019 and asked me if I would join. And her vision with Built for Agility. So basically, it's, we're looking to create self-sustaining communities with global impact, with clarity, intent, purpose. We offer experiential learning, and we also offer, coaching programs that's community-led focus. The biggest lie that society tells itself about crime and punishment is that crime is down and punishment is adequate. I think it's inaccurate information because crime is up, and people are incarcerated disproportionately. And we know that based off of your race or your sex will also determine whether or not if you are placed into the criminal justice system. What I believe is more corrupt is the halls of power, because they can. I've been in law enforcement for 33 years now, so I've seen the good, the bad, the ugly. Law enforcement is this behemoth that has been operating on its own, unsupervised, for 400 plus years, okay? And it's really hard to get an agency that does everything on its own and is self-governed to ever want to make a change for the better. This is how I've been screwed over by the criminal justice system. Being part of law enforcement for 33 years, I'm also black and blue, all right? So for 33 years, I've never been accepted by the criminal justice system. I've only been tolerated. And when you're only tolerated, you're only allowed to go but so far, okay? Depending on the agency that you work for, if you have to take a civil service exam and move up in rank, your work environment is extremely difficult. You're not accepted. You go in, you're expected to do 3 times more than your white counterpart. And when you don't produce, what happens is the hierarchy, they do not allow you to be placed into more advantageous positions. So this way you can accelerate in law enforcement. I hear that all the time, hey, you're a sellout. Why aren't you doing anything to change, the system? And I let them know, once again, I'm tolerated. I'm in the system with you. I just happen to have a badge on and a gun, right? But what I tell them is, you have to, and this is where Built for Agility comes in, right? You have to play the game to get home. It's mandatory. You have to take your pride, put it to the side. And when the police officer tells you, show me your hands, show them your hands. Don't take out your cell phone, get on FaceTime Live or some Instagram Live and start saying, hey, the police officer is telling me to do this, to do that. Because what you're doing is you're antagonizing the situation. I don't like telling them to do things that police officers should not do anyway. But there's ways that police officers can get you to do what they need you to do, and it's still legal. It may not be right, but it's still legal. So if I can give you a case in point, if I pull you over in your vehicle, as soon as those lights go on, that's temporary detention, which means anything I say to you, you must comply. As soon as I say, step out of the vehicle, and you've done absolutely nothing for me to say that, and you say, why? Now what happens is, if the person is not guilty, they would just get out of the vehicle. So now that's strike 1. Get out of the vehicle again. You don't comply. Now what am I going to do? Open the door, get another unit. Now it starts to escalate, and now you find yourself face down on the ground, and now you want to give me your hands. At that point, the officers is already, I gave you the first opportunity. When I said to you, show me your hands or step out of the vehicle, you should have complied. Once you don't comply with that, the officers now, they step it up a notch because they're believing you might have something in the vehicle. You might be hiding something, okay? So for the officer's safety, they're going to get additional units. And all you have to do is call another unit. And if another officer calls for another unit, that officer coming is assuming that something really bad is happening. So the mindset is different. The mindset is already, I may have to tase someone, shoot someone, handcuff, fight. So you understand? So this is the, I hate to say the word trickery, but this is how police officers will get people to do what they want them to do. If you're a police officer, Black police officer, and you're dealing with your own community, and you see what's going on in your community, it's a fine line to have the people in the community that you police that look like you, that feel like you, right? For you to go in there and really try to guide them without them already saying, the knee is on my neck already. Now here you want to come here and apply additional pressure on them. It's very difficult. That line it's real difficult to straddle. I think that knowing your rights and your responsibilities just as a human being is paramount. Knowledge is power. That whole thing, look, I didn't know, that doesn't apply in law enforcement. That's not a way to for a judge to say, okay, well, he or she didn't know, so therefore they go free. Knowledge is power. We have to empower ourselves by knowing what we can and what we cannot do. We're still living, and it's repackaged, but we're still living in the days of slavery. It's just repackaged. We feel that we are free. We are not. And the reason why I say that is because you can see the disparities. You can have a white person do something, the black person does the same thing, and they're treated totally different. Case in point, you get the white shooters, they happen to go to jail and they get time inside, the court system to plead their case, and a black man runs a stop sign, he's dead. Okay? So it's a whole different mindset. It's a different mindset, but knowing what you can do and cannot do, and knowing your rights, but not being challenging. I'll give you a case in point. You get pulled over, you have your cell phone. Can you record? Yes, you can, but take the cell phone, hit the record button, leave it down on the passenger seat. You cannot impede that temporary detention by filming at the same time while the officer is talking to you, because now the officer is saying, you're not giving me your undivided attention because you're too busy filming. So take the phone, you can keep it, let it film, let it do what it needs to do, but just put it down, and whenever needs to be recorded can be recorded. You cannot just impede the temporary detention until the officer is finished. There's certain things, traffic violations, really quick. Person making a right turn. If you make that right turn and you make that wide right, I can pull you over. People give us green lights all the time to pull them over. And it's just because it's like, you know what, I'm going to do what I want to do. I don't want to know the laws. And if I do know them, I don't really care because I'm doing me. That's the new mindset now.